but it's still
Yeah.
holding up. That's just to show you how it's actually still holding up though without me and taking care of it.
Oh.
So that's been nice.
Yeah, did White just teleport back?
Yeah, how in
Welcome
the
back.
world did you just come back? 'Cause I saw White typing. I'm
Yeah.
like, is White typing on the
We need to
toilet?
include this in the podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 35 of the AfterLife podcast. Today, we are finally back. It's a new year. It's kind of a new era for the podcast, I guess, but we got some of the original people that are like the face of the AfterLife podcast. Today, we have Skunk.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
We got WhiteFyr.
What's up?
And we got the SquareMario in the house.
Hey.
So before we start, I got to preface that we have a Discord. So discord.afterlifesmp.com. Easy link. Also link in the description down below. Also, we're available on multiple platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Amazon Music, and then, of course, YouTube. If you want to see everybody's beautiful face, given that they're showing their face. And then also, we highly recommend that you check out all the other AfterLife members. Links in the description. And then also, if you do join the Discord, man, I kind of morph some words there, but if you do join the Discord right there, you can suggest questions that we can answer on the podcast or topics or maybe just segment ideas in general. But I think everybody wants to talk about it. Currently right now, we're filming it on the 21st. It's 2021. So what better way to talk about 2021? How's it been?
2021.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. It's been fine. You know, started off the year fine. Easy. I did some apartment searching for after college and then move into school. Online school has been fun. I have two days of classes a week, so pretty easy.
What time do you start?
8 a.m.
What time do you finish?
2 o'clock.
Do you have gaps
So I have
between your classes?
Yeah, so I have a class from 8 to 9:15, 11:30 to 12. No, 11 to 12:15, and then 12:30 to 1:45.
Do you think you actually enjoy having them all like that?
Yeah, I mean the only sucky part is not really having much of a lunch until before or after, but I can also quickly grab lunch in between my two last classes, and then a lot of times my classes just cancel. The professor's just like, yeah, at least my 8 a.m. like half the time it's canceled because it's like the professor says, hey, I don't want to have synchronous lecture today, so we're not going to have it. So have fun. Then my other ones, the professors have a lot of things going on, so sometimes there's like, oh, I have this conference I have to go to. No class today. It's like
no class for you.
Man,
so
White's just
yeah,
living
it's
the
weird.
life.
And then I actually have 2 asynchronous classes, so like classes that don't have any class meeting times. One of them is a wine class, which I think I've talked about in others on Twitch and YouTube a lot.
Very much
Skunk, Skunk approves of. But then I have a class that I finished in like the first week of school. So,
what class was that? If you were able to finish it so easily?
It's a class called Personal Health, and it's a freshman level class. It's barely even a freshman level class. Like I'm pretty sure high school freshmen could take it, get an A very easily.
Did you learn anything useful?
Not really. I mean, some stuff I can think of, like some. Actually, I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head. When I took it, I learned some good things, but it's been like a month since I finished, or not even a month. But yeah, online classes have been pretty easy for me this semester compared to last semester, where I was spending 60-hour weeks on work.
That's good.
So.
Yeah. Yep, now we get content fire.
Yes,
more content. Get our content cow.
Love it.
Farming the content.
Streams, videos. That'd be awesome. Anybody want to go next, or shall I?
Take it away, Skunk.
What have you been up to?
Well, nothing much. I mean, just the usual content creation. Keeping going with that. I had to take a month off because I had some family problems going on back in January. Had a family member go into the hospital. Unfortunately, I don't need to, make it all depressing, but just to give you a little bit of details there. Some of you, I mean, all of you, I think know really what happened. But yeah, 2021 hasn't been off to the best of starts for me. But it has turned around. That family member is doing better as of right now. They are progressively getting more healthier and just doing better overall. So that's definitely a positive for sure. Um, and also just content creation and everything, streams, bringing them back. Trying to keep the videos going consistently and trying to post more consistently on Instagram, Twitter, even, and also Reddit as well. So that's been fantastic. Um, Anything else? Nothing really much. Still playing the guitar, still doing all that stuff
Yeah.
overall. And yeah,
Birthday.
just to say,
Birthday.
oh,
Right? Sorry? I don't know.
then I had a
I'm
birthday. I
had a
had a birthday
spasm
like
there.
had like 4 days ago. But who cares about that? Come on now.
What do you
We all
mean? We gotta
care?
talk about our
Yeah,
resident
Scott.
boomer.
Resident
Yeah.
boomer. I didn't really
Yeah.
do
What?
much for my birthday though. Like we just did
Well,
like
no, like
we
how
did have like
old you
5
are
cakes.
now. Do you
Oh
feel any
God.
older?
TOS on Twitch. Come on, Jay. You can't talk about age on
TOS.
Twitch. Good lord. No, yeah, no, I'm 23 now. I'm old. Feel old. Kidding. But oh, and I guess the other thing I have been doing is I've been working out more
Let's
as
go.
well. Trying to do it every other day. As of late, it's been a little bit less, but we're trying. We're getting there.
Slacking.
Yeah, so well, as my sleep message would say on the Afterlife server, I would be slacking. Um, Other than that, I've been eating healthy as well. But yeah, birthday, um, yeah, didn't really do much for that. It was just a fun time. We actually combined birthday parties for me and my mom because our birthdays are so close. Hers is on the 4th, mine is on the 18th. So we do like a combination thing that makes it kind of fun as well. So we have like 2 cakes and yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's
What kind
good.
of cake?
Kind of cake, a cheesecake.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay,
Now, what
that
did
makes
your
sense.
mom get?
She got like a regular, just like chocolate cake. Nothing much to it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Nothing
have to
much.
go
Yeah,
with the mom here.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't
Mom?
like cheese. That's right. You don't like cheese.
Okay, I
This
know
boy right here
this
doesn't like
No.
cake's
cheese.
not cheese, but like
Dairy
it's just
products.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's got cheese, cream cheese.
I'm
I
weird.
wouldn't really say that's cheese now, but
Can be considered. Yeah, got
It
cheese in
has
the name.
that's yeah, it's cheese in the name, so technically it's
yeah,
cheese.
but
I
it's
wouldn't,
not really the same.
But yeah,
Mm.
either way. And then also my I guess my stepfather had a cake too. He had a he had an ice cream cake because he loves ice cream cake. So he buys an ice cream cake for himself for our birthday.
Now,
That's
what kind of ice cream cake does he get? That's the real question.
well, I think it's just like a generic like it's chocolate and then it has like the Oreo kind of like cookie crumbs in the middle
That just
and then
sounds
like
like
the
too
vanilla on
much
top.
chocolate.
And it's the vanilla on top. So it's like
Jay.
a layer thing.
So, like, are you saying
Icing.
there's like chocolate cake and then chocolate ice cream, or are you just saying it's just chocolate ice cream and
Oh
then?
no. It's like cookie. Imagine like Oreo, like crushed up Oreos in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a thin layer of that going through the cake. So it's like all made into the cake. So chocolate layer, thin layer of Oreo crust, then a vanilla like ice cream, and then icing on top. So yeah, it's good. But he has that all to himself. So it's not so good because I don't get to have any.
Well, I mean, I don't
Not
think
even
you
on my
want any. You
birthday.
got your cheesecake.
I got my cheesecake. There's also a pineapple upside down cake downstairs too. I'm telling you, we had like 5 cakes.
Bro, what?
This birthday.
It's
We
only
had, like,
2 birthdays.
I know, but we had like 5 cakes because like a bunch of people come over, like different people come over different weekends. Yeah, it's craziness. So, oh, sorry, I don't want to steal the show here, but since you reminded me of my birthday, I actually got an inflatable kayak. I don't know if I told you guys this, but
No, you did not.
I've been really wanting one of those, and so my parents got me an inflatable kayak for my birthday. So I'm going to be taking that up the mountains, and it's going to be absolutely. Wait,
Let's
what's
go.
this? What is this face you're making?
I
If you
don't
watch on
know.
YouTube, you could see this beautiful face right here. But what's up? You seem concerned.
How does that work? You just inflate it and then you put it on water and you
Yes,
go sailing.
it
and
comes
move?
with a pump. You pump it up, and there you go. You got a kayak. It's made with puncture-resistant woven fabric. Not woven, but fabric.
Yes, it actually
Yes.
works. My brother has one, so
Oh,
it
good.
does.
Good. That makes me more confident.
I
So,
mean,
I
I
don't know.
don't know how crazy you're trying to get, so that's the only thing.
probably not
It's,
too crazy at first. I mean,
it just sounds like risk. I don't know. It just sounds weird to me.
Well,
Like
yeah,
an
because you
inflatable kayak.
probably just think of it like being some plastic,
Yeah.
but in
Yeah.
reality, it isn't.
I think it
It's
has like
different.
plastic bits on it, like in
Yeah.
the front and the back, like 2 guards
Mm-hmm.
to protect it, so you run into anything, you're not gonna like, disinflate in the middle of the river. But
Mm.
it has it's 2-seater, so if anybody wants to go with me,
Yeah, White, go. We know how much you want to be a part of it just based
it,
off
it, it
so
would
far.
be amazing. I would really appreciate it.
In a few months, when I'm more towards your area and like I have a
Mhm.
few weeks before I start work,
Mhm.
sure.
And then you guys can vlog it.
Can't wait.
I've never
Oh, we
been
should vlog
kayaking
it.
before, so that'd be interesting.
These two are just gonna disappear into the
Me neither.
mountains.
So it'll be an
Yeah, that's
experience.
the problem. We're gonna need to put a tracker on them.
That's what phones are for, right?
Yeah, but we're gonna need a better tracker.
Now I also have a raft. So, and it's also a 2-seater. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
Brian's
I
Mario
think I
Mario.
might be
and
busy
Jay.
during that time frame. I might be in Hawaii or something.
Oh, you can bring it to Hawaii. And you can
That's
bring us
even
to
worse
Hawaii.
now I think about it.
Well, I'll just go to Hawaii. It'll be great. Bring the inflatable kayak and the
I'm just
raft.
making it easier for you and even better.
And I
Yes,
would
you
love to
are.
go to Hawaii. Never been to Hawaii.
I
Well,
mean,
Jay's
there are
dad
some
is rich,
cheap.
so
I
he could take
don't
us.
think that's necessarily true, but there are some cheaper plane
Is.
tickets as of recently I've noticed.
Oh, really? So
Mhm.
we should get going pretty soon here.
At some point. At some
And
point.
it's always warm there, right? So it's that's not
Yeah,
an
it's
issue.
always like in the high 70s, low 70s.
Mm,
Oh, that
Coldest
sounds
that'll
nice.
ever really get is like high 60s.
What's
I
the
need
warmest
some
it'll
of
get?
I mean, probably like high 90s typically, but
That's
that's
it?
like the highest, really.
Damn.
Mm.
Or if you don't have a breeze, because like a lot of buildings or like houses in Hawaii typically
Mhm.
don't have AC. You gotta
Mhm.
have like the windows open, really, or fans on,
Wow.
I
because
guess there's no
then
humidity there.
yeah, humidity too can be a pain.
Okay.
I know a lot of people have problems with the hair. Like, I know my stepmom, she'll get her hair done and like have it all curly, and then the curls are
Mhm.
gone like within a couple hours. When here it would
That's
last a few days.
Yeah.
Mm. One day
Oh.
though, I mean, Afterlife House Hawaii edition.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Vacation
really
house.
cool.
Yeah.
Your dad's gonna buy it for us, right?
Oh, I
Oh,
thought you
perfect.
were. You're high class.
I'm bougie. Don't get it
Yeah, same
mistaken.
thing. Close enough.
It's not. It's actually me and my mom looked this up the one day while we were baking, conveniently. Bougie means middle class, or like middle upper class, I should say, which you could consider us. Thank you. And then also high class is just the rich, which is what your
Well,
dad
I
is.
don't think that's what my dad is. I think it would be more a bougie then.
Okay, then he's bougie,
Just
middle
like you.
upper class. All right. Well, then we'll work together. We'll team up, and then
Buy it
we'll be high
together.
class. Yes.
We'll see.
Beautiful. Be perfect.
Or White could just buy it. Fine.
That's true too.
No.
You're supposed to be our content cow. This is how it works, right?
Yes, my whole $20 a month that I make, that doesn't even
Yes.
cover my
That
Adobe
$20
products.
$20
Totally.
accomplishes a lot.
Well, what about Twitch?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
see.
little bit different, but
Okay,
Oh, that's a little bit different now.
we won't go there.
Mario made bank today. I don't know that. Got all my money.
Yeah, it's your money.
Yeah,
I'll put
what
it. I'll put
happened
it back
today,
into the
Mario?
house. Put it back.
Yeah,
into
let
the
us know what's going on with you.
Yeah, what
Huh?
happened?
My year.
Your year. What happened today?
All right. Well, today, as of recording this, we did a little subathon. That was a blast. So I have been trying to stream more as of this month and
Woo!
just going forward into the year. So that's really fun.
Oh yeah.
Also, at the end of last year, I got into university. So I'm feeling
Woo!
a lot less, not less
Poggers.
pressured. Yeah. So like White, online school has just been pretty breezy, pretty easy at this point. Just kind of sitting through classes. Um,
Playing
Not
Minecraft while in
much.
school. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm. We won't
we won't
talk
Well, I
talk
mean,
about
I know
about
at
it.
least Ash is. I don't know about you.
I
I
mean,
won't admit to anything.
if you can do that, if you can swing that and still like do well enough in the classes, I don't see
Yeah.
what the problem is.
Yeah, there's no
Like,
problem as long as you're not failing.
I mean,
Yeah.
hmm.
Just at this point, my grades don't really matter. I just gotta pass them classes. So
Exactly.
it's awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, since we're all stuck inside, I've just been trying to work on the little things, trying to be more hygienic. I'm working on skincare this year, so have an actual routine for
Very
that.
nice.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
unique. I like it. Well, not unique, but it's something. Very
Yeah, I feel
good.
like a lot of dudes neglect skincare sometimes. Like all
Mm-hmm.
my friends, some people use hand soap, some people don't use soap. They just and yeah, that hasn't been working for me. So I got actual stuff
Yeah,
going
you got to
on
get
there.
product, good product.
Wait, they're
Yeah.
using soap as lotion? Is that what you're saying?
No. Just like to wash their face. Some people just use like what they use to wash their hands, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't think that would be any
See,
Is
good
that
for
you,
I
you.
had a
Jay?
worse image when it was just soap for face. Or, well,
I
Just
soap
soap.
imagine
as
dish
lotion.
soap. I imagine what you clean your dishes with, and they were just like like squirting the bottle in your
Damn.
face.
I don't know. That'd be painful.
In the eye.
It's like it takes 10 years to rub off dish soap.
Yeah.
It gets that grease off. It says grease and grime will go away.
Oh, so we got to use that on you then.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Are you
I
saying I'm
mean,
dirty?
when you come back from work, I mean,
Well,
Squirt
I
some,
gotta get
squirt some in your face, you know?
I gotta get a wire brush out for that stuff. That's concrete all over the place. Eesh. We won't get into details about that though.
so Mario, you haven't been cursing this month, right?
Oh, well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well.
Well,
No, I'm pretty sure he cursed on
yeah, I'm
today's
pretty
stream.
sure he cursed the stream. That's
Yeah,
why
I
I was
did curse
wondering.
on stream. Um, yeah, it's not official. It's just a goal. I'm trying to be more what is the word? Less toxic, sure. Let more
Hear that, skunk? You're toxic.
He didn't say that I was toxic. He
Well,
said
you
his self was
curse?
toxic, and I have not
no,
cursed this entire
Skunk uses it
podcast.
to express
Oh,
himself. It's
that
okay.
is such a blessing, skunk. I'm so proud of you for not cursing at all within the first like 10 minutes of this podcast or whatever it
Yes,
is.
I'm on a streak of good luck. Or
It's so
whatever they call it.
difficult not to curse online, you know? It's just so difficult.
Yeah, I can get away with it just fine, skunk.
Well, when you make videos for kids like White over here, I mean, it's pretty easy.
I
Okay.
literally, what do you
Oh.
mean? I literally take my videos as not for kids. It's
Well,
literally labeled not for kids.
maybe
Yeah,
you
skunk.
should, because I think they are. But that's okay. Continue.
It's okay. All the kids know swears nowadays.
I'll be White. Don't kill me.
Yeah, you're learning other words too, right? Mr. TikToker and Twitch
Oh,
streamer.
Oh,
yes.
oh boy.
Jeez. Or whatever. How do you say it? Is that a sheesh? I hear you say that all the time.
I made my dad say it today.
No.
Oh.
Wait, you should make that like your sub sound or something.
Subset.
No, yeah, just like whenever you see something exciting, the TikTok folks, they just go, sheesh.
Oh, see, he does a lot better because he's used to it.
Like,
Why?
I don't know. I feel like
You
it's
gotta
derived
exaggerate.
from Fortnite or something. I feel like everything comes from Fortnite, but
Really?
My brother doesn't say it, and he plays a lot of Fortnite and watches a lot of Fortnite people. So I don't know. I'll ask
I don't
him.
know. It's just like a raw, primal form of expression. Just sheesh.
It is the
I mean,
Zoomer
I guess
mating
it's
ball.
better
White's
than
face.
cursing.
White's so disappointed. It is
He's-
better than cursing.
It's
Yeah.
because he wears dad jeans. All right, listen, he won't understand this stuff.
Man,
Listen,
Skunk's really getting on the front going against White. You're really just
you
trying
want
to
to
get
fight, kid?
him to come
Just getting
back at
bullied
you.
today.
Oh yeah, I want to fight.
Come at me, big boy.
All right, wait till you move.
Ooh.
I'll be helping you move. It's confirmed,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. That's the plan, anyways.
hmm
That is the plan. It'll be in a few months.
I
Well,
can't
that's
wait.
good. Are you excited for that?
Like, I'm not excited to move. I am excited to see Skunk. So, you know.
Really?
Oh, you guys are so
Oh,
cute together.
Young love.
now I feel
It's
bad
just
for being mean.
blossoming.
He's killing me with kindness.
Look,
Good
I'm
lord.
trying to be more mean today. Less mean today. I can talk, I swear.
Why specifically today?
I don't know. I just, you know, I've been mean to a lot of people in general, like in life, and I'm just trying to like be a better person, you know.
Have you?
Hmm.
The people
I
who
never
watch this
would've
podcast
thought.
and then also watch your streams are going to be like, I never thought of the White this way.
Yeah.
They really
A
are.
sweet, innocent boy. No.
I mean,
Can't be my
I really,
WhiteFyr.
I really should follow Mario's example and stop cursing because that is a bit of a problem for me.
White, you cursed? What?
Mm.
Yeah.
You curse?
You
Yeah.
cursed?
Yeah.
But you're a
I
sweet
like.
little innocent angel.
I don't think anyone believes that. Come on now. But
That's what I was
I kudos to Mario for trying to do that because like I've been trying to do that for 6 years and it's hasn't worked out very well.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I
kinda
don't try
has.
very hard, but
I mean, you don't
At least you're
curse
trying.
in your videos or streams, so I mean, I feel
Mhm.
like that at least, shows a level of restraint.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a little bit easier. Like that's easier just because you can put yourself into different modes. Like
I
there's
get that. too.
content fire and then there's real life fire.
vulgar
Mm.
fire.
Vulgar.
Real life fire. So it's really easy to put yourself in different modes. Where like
Mm.
for me, it's always been a switch to just like, okay, online making content, not going to talk about certain things. I'm not going to curse. Okay, that's easy. As soon as I get off, it's just like beep beep beep. Just all kinds of
Right.
curse words at
Uh.
times. Sometimes complaining about certain people, but
I think for videos,
fine.
it's really easy not to curse. Because you can edit that stuff out. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah, that too.
do clips and all that stuff. So
yeah.
for me, it's like I like to not do that. I've always been no curse YouTube channel. So
Guys, the funny thing is, okay, if you don't know, you guys all know, but I've been doing the freestyles on Twitch
oh, that's
just for
been
Mhm.
fun. Not
That
because
is-
I think I'm any good at it, but it's been kind of interesting, just silly. But what White said, right? With the different modes, you got content mode.
Mhm.
When I start freestyling,
It lets out.
content Mario turns off for a little bit.
Mm.
So you have to you have to pick. That's why I suck so much at freestyling. It's not because I can't think of words. It's
You
I
wanna say
can't
bad
think
words.
of Twitch
Appropriate.
appropriate words for the freestyle. It's just
Yeah.
because all the rap music nowadays is so, not in line with
Explicit.
Yeah.
content
I was
mode.
gonna
Yeah.
call Artorian something earlier. Then I stopped myself. Remember
Yeah,
I
I
told you that?
watched that clip and I was like, what is he talking about
What,
here?
Skunk?
I will message you the word later.
Yeah,
Not
I was
that it's
going to
true in any
ask
way.
about that because like it appeared in the showcase channel. I'm like, huh.
Okay, it's the first word that popped in my head. No offense against Artorian at all, but it's just I don't know why, but I was about to blurt it out and I was about to say I was like, I can't say that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny to watch because like he started stumbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great channel point redemption, I must say though. Like that is
Yeah.
fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
It's fun, but there's certain times I wish I didn't have it,
I feel like it is like that for like all channel point redemptions. Like I find
Yeah.
myself like I don't want to do this right now. You know what I mean? Like, or I'm in the middle of building something in
Well,
Minecraft, especially, and I'm like, oh, that interrupts it.
I mean,
But
that's
also, I
why
know
you
it's
can
fun for the
limit it.
viewers. And
Yeah.
yes, I'm glad they
Yeah.
added cooldowns for that kind of stuff too, because that is definitely helpful in that case. So, for sure.
Jay banning the word I while we're having an intense
You
build
failed at
off.
that, by the way,
Yes, you did
and you didn't
horrible.
acknowledge it. You just are like, Don't
just
worry
kept
about
saying it over and over. I don't think you ever
Yeah, I'm
actually finished the
surprised.
challenge.
I'm surprised you gave me the W. I thought you were gonna be like, oh, minus
Did he?
50 points for
Oh,
Mario for
Yeah.
breaking the
bill.
challenge.
The bill.
I mean, it's kind of meant for
Yeah.
both of you. But yeah, technically, you probably should have lost because of that.
Yeah, Skunk didn't say it, right?
I think you
I
did.
probably did, but you said it a lot more than me.
Yeah, I
Yes.
just like
You just
forgot
started
about
blurting
it.
it out. Yeah, but once you do them
Yeah.
challenges, they're hard. Like, in the moment, I always find myself
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what do I say instead of that?" Like, chat thinks it is easy because they're not on the spot,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then they try to trip you up, and I'm like, "Well, listen here, chat. That's not the way it is." So, another one I just recently added was straight face. So I have to keep a straight face. I cannot chat tries to make me laugh, or they try to make me smile, and if I do either of those things, then the timer resets, and that's been a lot of fun. We tested
Oh
that out
man,
this morning on stream, and that was a lot of fun, and
that
people are
sounds
trying to
fun.
crack jokes in any way. Somebody went, "Knock, knock," and I laughed. It was just I was like, "Wait a minute." So, uh, yeah, I thought that would be a fun one because, I laugh a lot, so
You just like smiling, man. You're just a happy person. It's just
I like to
just who
smile.
you are,
It
you
makes you
know?
feel good.
Yeah.
So I just pretend to be depressed. Depression in
I don't know.
your
Wouldn't
cup.
it be
Oh
better
no.
to see you like always smiling? Like you can't like break the smile.
Oh,
That's
that would
easy
hurt.
though.
That
You
would
can,
be
No,
another great
well,
That's
it
one.
not
might also
easy.
be creepy too. That's the thing. So you kind of have two things going on.
That would hurt after a while. Like it depends upon how long it's gonna be. If it's, I can't hold a smile for 5 minutes. I can't hold a smile for like 20 seconds. Like it's
Right.
that
Well,
that just hurts me.
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I'd want to just join a stream and see some dude smiling at me for
It's
the
like
next 2
at the
minutes.
camera. Yeah.
Yikes.
No, that would be
See, that's what we would want to see, White. We need that as a channel points reward.
No. See, like I don't know. I'm not a big channel points are fine and they're cool if you like. I don't know. Want to interact with chat and like it's a cool way to interact with chat. I just don't want to add too much because then like
Yeah.
people have said it becomes a burden at some point where it's like yeah it's cool for people to see, but then like there's certain things I want to get done. There's certain things that I
Yeah.
want to
yeah,
do, and so like if that impedes that a ton, then it becomes okay. Well, that's why I started like I used to have I think I still have a redemption for World Tour, but like I like the fact that you can just have a limit of like you can only have this for once a stream. You can only have it every there's a cooldown on it because that way like otherwise people would be redeeming World Tour every like 5 minutes because new people join. They're like I need a tour. This is like okay, can
right.
you
I
like
noticed
I
that
got
one.
other things
Yeah.
to do. So
Well, you
When
can
I had that
also
one.
reject them too. So you don't
Yeah.
actually have to ever
yeah,
do them. You can also turn them off for that stream.
yeah.
Mm,
I feel bad if I reject a redemption though because it's like
yeah.
they definitely want it and like I don't know. I
Oh,
just
why? They
I'd
still
rather
get their
just
points
like
back though, and then you can just always turn
yeah
it off before the stream. So I guess it could be like your pre-stream workout. You go to your channel points, see whatever you want to keep or turn off, just like when you change your title and commands or whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just another thing that you have to worry about though. So I mean, I guess
It's
in
true.
that way, it's just easier having ones that you're like fully comfortable with, I guess.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, the workout ones I can't do.
The
Forget
workout
it.
ones. What do you mean, the push-up
Yeah.
ones?
Yeah, not on stream.
I've
I
had the
don't like
push-up one off for like the past
Yes,
year and
you
a half
have.
a year.
Yeah,
You
it's
took that
I
away
We'll,
from
we'll
me.
bring it back at
Only thing
some
I had to
point.
punish you with.
Jay likes the punishing ones, I can
Yeah,
tell.
Jay
There's
has
a theme
infinite
going
channel
on
points
here.
at this
What?
point.
No, I just need fun ones that would entertain the stream too.
Right.
There is
Jay,
only
what
so much I can do with my 60,000 channel points in Mario stream and 150k in your skunk. I think I have because I spent a bunch.
150K.
Yeah.
bro?
He's farming.
What?
I think I have like 40k in white.
Yeah, I've got I
That's
think I have
annoying.
60K in skunks, roughly.
Oh my heavens.
Well, because like I never spend points because like when you got
Yeah.
rid of the 50K redemption that you had, I was gonna spend it on the 50K, and then you got
What
rid
was
of
that?
it.
What was
So
Which
I
that?
one
was
was
like,
that?
I forget what it was now.
Speak the truth.
Yeah.
That was I don't like that one.
What
That
does
was a
that even do?
horrible one. I was disappointed.
I wanted
Spent
to say something
50K for
profound, but you know.
It was actually a
Anyways, I've
gimmick one. That speak the
oh
truth. It wasn't a real one. It's not doesn't do
okay,
anything really.
okay.
There's no truth
Okay.
behind it. So,
Like I've done some water ones and I've done some like other ones, but for the most part, like I don't like spending channel points in Twitch streams in general. Like I just like to accumulate them, just see how many points I can get.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Anyways, so that's just me though. Yeah, I have 59.6K right now in skunks. So
And I gotta save up the onesie for your stream white, and then I guess I gotta
I'm thinking
save
about
up for
reducing
the
that as well.
Yes. Or you can make it a community challenge too, of course. Mario,
Yeah,
I
but
gotta save up for his costume one. Or is it still named James Charles?
We're not doing James Charles. Well, yeah.
But
we're
what if I
probably doing a
choose for you to
costume.
do James Charles?
I'll probably choose. I'll choose
Oh,
someone.
I still never got your dad never came on stream. I redeemed that.
Can I refund you?
I already
Jay?
accepted it though.
Can I direct deposit you some mushrooms? Some mushrooms.
you want some shrooms, Jay?
Man.
No. No.
Yeah, I expect some more punishments added to your Twitch channels later. Thank you.
Oh man.
Especially you,
Okay.
Skunk.
What?
Maybe some cheap ones that are pretty good.
See, that's the thing. I was just about to ask you, what would you think would be a good redemption?
I don't know. I
Or
mean, I feel like you're kind of limited though, right?
you
Yeah.
are. I was looking through like all of them earlier, and I was thinking that's why I added that new one because I was like, oh, that could be a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that they have on there, it's like yeah, I could do that, but
Well, yeah, the
it's
ones Twitch has are like questionable too. Like, what was the one? Like randomly time out somebody or choose somebody to time out. It's like, why would you
Yeah.
suggest that as a thing? Or play an ad? Like, why would
Play
I
an
want my
ad.
viewers to tell people to play an ad? That's like a fake way to be able to play an ad.
Well, like
Right.
I do understand some people who have redemptions for playing an ad because I don't know if it's just partner streamers or whatnot, but if they play an ad at the very beginning or play 2 ads or whatever, then people are ad free for the next 30 minutes, 60 minutes,
Yeah, but
whatever it is. So
that's if you choose to set your stream that way. Like if you choose where your stream either always starts with a pre-roll or you only get ads every, I think, 30 minutes. Unless you played ads. So then it wouldn't be every specified time.
Mhm.
yeah.
So I mean, to me, it's like if you have pre-rolls, it doesn't make sense. Which I think most people do because you're more than likely to encounter more ads through the other one. Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting to see what fun ones you guys can come up with. I
Yeah,
can use my
it's definitely
points.
difficult for sure to think of like ones that are interesting and that last a while because I feel like sometimes you get bored of the ones you already have too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, all right, we had our fun with that channel point. Now it's time to move on to maybe a new one, something like that. I don't.
Yeah.
But
Well, I also try to think of it as like I want to make channel redemptions or the point redemptions that enhance the stream rather than take away from it. And that can be sort of a balance as
Yeah.
well because you can make channel
That's
redemptions
true.
that sort of take away from the moment, but I try to think of it as like adding stuff that's going to play into something that's already happened on stream, which is why I have a lot of like cow things because it's something
Breed
that's
the
a
cows.
big part of the stream already.
Right.
That way it's more I don't know, engaging for the viewers and it doesn't really take away from what I'm trying to do, but at the same time, viewers then are like, hey, I can redeem this thing, and that's
Right.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
True,
I
true.
also like the ones that Kyle had. I believe he has some that are like change the effects on streams and yeah, he just
VHS
added
mode.
that. VHS mode,
Mm-hmm.
pixel mode, neon mode. So it's like it changes the look of stream, which I think are just fun little ones that like really cheap ones that people can mess with too. Um So yeah, figure out how to do that. So there's
Yeah.
definitely like a lot of like cool things that have came out of channel points. Great.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should probably talk about something else here. Seems like we kind of had our fun with Twitch channel points here. But I think one of the new things that we should talk about that just recently happened, after months of not having any new members, we finally got a new one. I mean, he's been accepted for a while, but now he's formally announced, playing on the server, Fresh Blood, KennyZope, Brazilian
Pennies though.
tier.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Kenny.
Let's go.
Woo!
Yeah, this has been a long time in the making as well.
Yes.
So it's excited to finally be able to announce it, and like, I don't know. Kenny's a great builder, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does
Yeah.
this season, and hopefully next as well.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking back and I was like, I messaged him on my birthday all the way in August for inviting
Wow.
him. So it's just like,
Good bit to go.
and now it's here.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like he's enjoying his time. Seems like he's fascinated by everything. And I hope that, it continues to be that way for him. It's nice to have somebody new on the server for everybody to kind of like, I guess, meet, get along with, and then also potentially bully.
Fresh
Yeah.
face, another pig.
Yes.
Yeah. So be absolutely amazing. And it is amazing like how this season has grown so much in general
Yeah.
as the server is just like it's amazing. I'm blown away. And I've always said this. I've been wrong. I was wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong. I didn't want to start season 3. But and I didn't want to do the Afterlife again, but
Yeah,
I'm
you
glad I
didn't
did.
want to do it.
The whole
But
that was the biggest part about starting season 3 was like, will Skunk join? Because I was in, Jay was in, Hugh was in, and we got KB on board, and eventually Cody
I had to
basically last
convince
minute.
Skunk a bunch. Kept
Yeah,
telling me
I
no,
do.
or that he didn't think it was gonna work out.
yeah.
like
'Cause
no.
at that time, I was really big with, like, the streaming side of things and just, like, focusing on that, and I knew
Mhm.
Afterlife was, had a little bit of YouTube. I know you guys said, "No, you can do streaming, we'll let you stream on the server and whatnot," but, I'm actually glad I did it because Afterlife is what revitalized the YouTube channel. It revived a lot of things for me, and,
Yeah.
so it was like a fresh start without it being so crazy in that sense. But it's been amazing. Season 3 is just, I mean, the amount of memories we've had, as long as it's lasted, it's breaking records left and right here,
Yeah, you
and with
broke in
numbers especially.
a lot.
So yeah, awesome.
It's the first time we've
Yeah.
been in the 20s for member count as well, isn't it? We're at
Yes.
what, 20 now?
Yeah, we're at
Yeah,
exactly
20.
20 on the dot.
Literally the
Like,
first time ever, which is insane. Because I like being a fan of season 1 and then being a member of season 1, like I thought that there was a lot going on then, and there was what, like 12, 13, 40 people maybe
I
at its
think
peak.
13 we might have had. That would have been our max, maybe 14.
So like 20 is like mind-boggling to think of, especially since like I assume you wrote these
Yeah.
stats down that we're looking at, Jay.
Mhm.
We have a whole document for people out there. We have a whole document of like questions and stats and whatever. Anyways,
We have a script. We're professional.
yeah, a
An
script
outline,
exactly.
guys.
Season 3 has, as of yesterday,
Yes,
as
yesterday.
of yesterday, has been going on for 615 days.
Mhm.
It's already longer than season 1 was 537, and I honestly, you put down December 21st, 2014 through June 10th, 2016. I wouldn't even consider like season 1. I mean,
Yeah, as
technically it
long
ended
as
June
that.
10th, but like season 1, I would say technically ended more like January or February of 2016.
Yeah, probably
Like,
February.
because like there were some other things that happened after that, but there were only 3 of us on the server at that point.
Mhm.
So like this season's been
We
going
were in
on
the
for a while.
preparation phases for season 2 then. We were
Yeah.
scouting for great people, that's when we found like Duke, Skunk, Dragonfrost, Hugh. Well, I mean, I guess Hugh came to us, but that's when we were scouting, so kind of took some time there.
Yeah. I mean, 2 of those guys applied.
Mhm.
So it wasn't Dragonfrost and Duke through applications technically.
Yeah.
And then Hugh was already like accepted
Yeah.
before, like during
Yeah,
season
he
one.
was
Before
accepted
season
back
two.
in January, maybe December, end of
Well,
December.
I thought it was like end of 2015 because most things fell apart in like January of 2016
Mm-hmm.
when the group split, and then we had to basically rebuild for season two. So
You
that was
know,
the time.
the funny thing is for Afterlife Season 2, when Jay invited me,
You didn't
I
wanna
was
join?
actually gonna say no. So that's 2 times I was gonna say no.
Well,
Like,
good thing you didn't.
I was determined I was gonna be like, "No," 'cause the problem is I was on a lot of SMPs before Afterlife, like, like 2 handfuls of SMPs
I
and
feel you.
maybe a footful, and they never were professional and successful as this SMP. Like, this is content creation SMP. It's not like,
Yeah.
"Oh, here's your friends," and some of them are YouTubers that are gonna die off eventually. So, um, yeah. So that I just want to mention that little fun fact, like saying no 2 times in a row. Oh, I don't know if that makes me look too good,
Yeah,
but
going back to what White said, like with how successful season 3 has been, like 600 over 600 days. Like I'm with Skunk here. I was in a lot of SMPs before Afterlife, and I don't even think like all of them accumulated together have been as long as Afterlife season 3, maybe. And I just want to say that one thing that really stuck out about Afterlife 2 is just how diverse we are now. Like with Kenny, I think we have members from 6 or 7 different countries, and we have people coming like from all backgrounds, all ages, and it's just honestly the most like
it is definitely a
unique
really cool part of it.
experience. Yeah, you get like viewpoints from everywhere.
Yeah.
We
It's cool.
we had people from, I think I was talking to Emma about this the other day. We had people from 5 different continents. Because there's Africa, people from South Africa, there's Australia, there's Europe, North America, and now South America.
Yeah.
5 continents. Like that's
Heck
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We
it's definitely crazy.
international.
I always thought
Continue.
having
Mhm.
people from Australia or New Zealand would be a much bigger deal than it is because the time zones are so different. Like Europe is different from North America, South America, of course, few hours difference. Australia and New Zealand are like entire other side of the world. So for me, it was always an issue. Like if someone was on a server from over there, it's like how are time zones going to work up? How are like am I ever going to see this person ever again? Like
Sorry.
what's going to happen?
I was just laughing because I'm
Morning
thinking
voice.
about Justin waking
His
up
morning voice.
in a meeting. He's like this deep morning voice. "Hey,
Hello,
everybody.
guys.
Hello, I'm Justin now." And and if you
It's
can imagine
so
his
deep.
voice, like, really deep in the morning, it was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my."
It's a different person.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a great thing about these time zones, I will say.
I mean, they
For all
probably
aspects.
are kind of problematic, but like I think it's just that, Justin has been willing to wake up at an earlier enough time in order to make it to meetings. So, I mean, that's
Yeah.
just like, I guess the
Really
sacrifice he has
appreciate it.
had to make on his part in order to come to some of the stuff, or
Right.
yeah, just in general.
Good on
Yeah,
him.
I
Good on
mean, kudos to you too, Jay, for planning over like now 20 people. You have to schedule events for so many
Woo!
different time zones, but you've been doing a really good job.
fun.
And
Oh,
I don't know if people necessarily understand this, but like not to boost Jay's ego too much, but
mm,
the reason Afterlife is even together post season 1 is because Jay kept it together. I mean, sure, I was there and there are a few others, but like people don't understand like how much Jay does on like a daily basis back then and even now in Afterlife. So a lot of this functions because to some degree Jay's kept it together.
There's a reason why Afterlife is probably the most professional, smallest SMP, I would say,
It's his
out
child.
there.
yes, my child, my son.
It's a baby. The baby Afterlife.
Mario's brother.
I
Hmm.
disowned them both, so twice. Conveniently
Mm,
enough.
kind of.
do you mean, kind of?
Kind of. Okay, but regardless, so I think I forgot earlier to mention that we're having a Streamathon on the 27th, which is Saturday. So, highly recommend that everybody checks that out too while they're at it, because we're going to be having 6 streamers during that, or well, 6 segments, so 12 hours long. So, make sure to go check that out, as the image should be on your screen right now. And then if you want more information, it is live.afterlifesmp.com too. Sorry to interrupt everybody right there. Figured I forgot to mention that. Felt like that was kind of crucial.
Yeah, I think I'm starting it off, and then it's Caffers. Who's
Then
after
it's
that?
Mario.
Is that Mario?
And then the
Okay.
live podcast featuring Kyle and Caffers without knowing their
That'll be
guests
fun.
currently at the moment. So that's going to be interesting. And then we have Hash streaming. I think this is his first time streaming in the Streamathon, right?
It's gonna be hype.
Yep.
And then I am
Yep.
ending it all off. So, should definitely be fun. I know Kyle is going to be doing some different fancy things with the podcast, so highly recommend that everybody go make sure to check that out. Plus, I mean, it's probably going to be like a different atmosphere slash, I guess, structure potentially, so it should be different.
Boomer-
Plus, chat interaction
cast.
too.
That's what it'll be. The Boomer Cast.
Yes,
Boomers.
Kyle and Caffers. Okay, you're kind of spoiling Skunk, but okay.
Maybe just edit this out.
Oh. All right.
Yikes.
I mean, it would be interesting to have like all the like older AfterLife members on a podcast one time, just like trading stories of like the dinosaur ages and like
stories.
I think that'd be a really interesting podcast to listen to, because like we're all younger here, like
Well, Skunk
our-
isn't.
Skunk's still in
What
his
are you
early
talking
20s.
Skunk should join them.
You just
Still
call
a
me old.
boomer.
How? What makes me a boomer?
Don't worry about that, Skunk. But I mean, it is crazy
Your
to
attitude.
think about, like, we have so many people of like different ages now. Like before we were kind of more like
Mhm.
in our late teens or like mid teens and then lower 20s for all the previous seasons, and now we've kind of like expanded from that, from like ranging from 15 to now I think 37. And like I still can't believe Kenny is the oldest Afterlife member. I don't get those vibes from him.
No.
I don't know.
Kyle always seems the oldest to me.
Yeah.
Even though he's
I mean, Kyle just embodies the true boomer atmosphere. Not quite boomer, but like almost boomer atmosphere.
it
But,
must
like,
be the beard
Yeah,
or
I mean,
the head.
I'm not upset with it. Like he has like the, I don't know, he has like the cool boomer atmosphere. He's older, but he's not like
It's like a
totally.
spiffy young boomer.
Yeah, like
Yes. Well, he's definitely more like he's got more technologically advanced skills. So,
Yeah.
with a lot of that saves him on that part.
Yeah.
Now in other departments, we'll have to figure that out for later.
Yes.
Hey yo.
Okay. Well, I don't know if anybody else had something they wanted to add to either, I guess, Afterlife or the Streamathon. If
No,
not,
sir.
then we can answer a podcast suggestion, courtesy of discord.afterlifesmp.com. There's also a link in the description down below. Highly recommend that you join. But, okay, does anybody have a preference here on which one we answer? I know some of you guys were like looking at some of Timm's suggestions and were like oohing
I
and
thought we were
awing
looking
at
at
them.
Timm's. We're looking at beautiful one. If you could choose a Hermitcraft member to come make a series on Afterlife, who would you choose?
Oh man.
Which I think is a fantastic
There's
one.
some talented hermits.
This is a hard question suggestion thingamadoohickey. Because there's so many good ones, and I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, I would also want someone who could mesh with Afterlife personality-wise.
Personality-wise,
Because like
yeah.
content's great and exposure's great and yada 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 yada. But like you also want someone who can like have an actual nice collab with people, and
Right.
it's not gonna be weird. It's not gonna feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
So like immediately, the thought is Etho, because Redstone Genius and for many of us, he's like someone that a lot
Right.
of people look up to and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't know how well Etho would mesh with the group. Like it wouldn't. I don't know how
Yeah.
collabs would work with
I
that.
feel like Etho would mesh with content Mario, but not vulgar Mario, you know?
See,
Or
I think that
outside of
kind of
content Mario.
depends, right? Because like I feel like as of the past like 6 months, I feel like he's been like slowly like coming out of his shell more. It's like now you see
True.
him like doing Among Us streams with some of the hermits and playing other games with other hermits on their streams.
Right.
So I feel like he's slowly becoming more out of his shell for that, to where he's probably more accepting now, I think, or more willing to socialize.
Right.
Hmm.
Which makes sense, and I get that. You know, when you first join where you're in a group or you're not used to people or whatever, um, it takes a little bit to get used to that. So,
Yeah, or
for sure.
when you're used to writing solo for a good bit and creating
Yeah.
like I guess single player style content.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure with Etho as well, it's sort of that conundrum of like he was always very involved with Minecraft, and then Minecraft, he was very involved, and everything just went south. And so
Yeah.
there may even be an issue of like, well, I don't know how close I want to be with this group because who knows if it can go south like this did. And
Yeah,
Right.
but it doesn't look like it's going to, obviously. But
No.
hopefully
so
not.
that he may be a lot more comfortable with that now. And also, Etho to me seems like much more of an introverted person. It's gonna take him more time to be more social with people. He's got to know them better. So,
I think the person that I would want on, and who has done a lot for the Minecraft community, his name is Grian. Yeah, it's gonna be Grian
Oh.
because
No.
you
We
all
already
thought I was gonna
have
say
him.
BWO.
we already have
Artorian's on
Grian,
the
though.
server.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's right.
We don't need a
Yeah.
budget Artorian on
Yeah.
All
AfterLife.
right.
Oh,
We don't need Artorian's second
we
account.
have a
We
budget
like the main
constraint,
one.
so I mean, we have to work with something here. All right. Anyway, Grian has done so much. I found out that he actually came up with that TNT run game on iPixel. I don't
Oh,
know if you
did he?
guys knew that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So because and on Hermitcraft itself, like he's constantly coming up with game ideas. He's constantly coming up with just ways of keeping you interested, like the tag game, for instance. Um, his raft shop that upgrades would constantly upgrade. Um, things that would just keep you coming back to look at, and it's just so like I would love like for somebody to be like that. That would keep me motivated, right? Somebody
Mm.
who's wants to get involved in community events
Yeah.
and wants to um, have like these interactive games in the server, I think would just be personally a great addition to Afterlife. Um, and Grian is just again just an amazing person just to keep you intrigued in the Hermitcraft series because yeah, I feel like he's like the ringleader of it all. And I think Hermitcraft has even said it, or even xisumavoid's even said it. Like once they've added Grian, it's kind of been game changing a little bit. So
Yeah, I feel like he just never stops like churning out ideas. It's just like
yeah,
one
yeah,
after the other.
yeah, and you could say Etho's the same way. And it's true. I mean, he has a different way of doing it, but
Yeah.
Grian's is more community based, which I think is better for a server, if that makes sense.
True, true.
So yeah,
Welcome back, White.
yeah, he's a little bit frozen there. I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, should we pause or will he
My
come
internet
back
just
fine?
completely died. Like my Discord connection went to
Ooh.
5,000 milliseconds, and I'm like,
Oh,
I
feature my
thought it was you guys
skill.
at first, and then I was like, wait, Skunk's fine, Mario's fine. Oh no, this is me, isn't it? But sorry, so I'm gonna keep going.
Oh, yeah, that was the end of my spiel. Sorry.
Well, I feel like it's pretty clear that like Green kind of has that mindset. 'Cause I don't know if you
Yeah,
know, but Green previously founded one of the biggest servers ever for Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah,
Minecraft,
so I mean,
yeah.
clearly he has that capability if he was able to run or still, have that level of knowledge and
Mhm.
successfully running that giant of an RPG of a server.
Did you guys ever play Winecraft?
A little bit,
Not really.
not much. Didn't really get into it too much.
I never
So
played, but I had seen people playing it
Yeah.
before.
I played it like so much when I was
really,
young.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
my computer could barely run it, but I grinded that like spiritually.
Hmm.
Yeah, it sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah, so I would definitely say Green is up there because, like, you can definitely tell he's one of the people. He's like a shadow leader
Right.
for Hermitcraft. Like, he may not be the official leader, but he's definitely
Leader.
up there for like helping
I could s
running it.
I could see him coming up with a lot of, like, for the turf wars. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that he had a lot of involvement in that, in planning that probably, and just different events like that, I think are a big part of who he is,
Yeah.
and inventing one of the best games on Hypixel. I mean, TNT Run, like, that just blows me away.
Only more
So,
people played it. That's the only
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a
That
simple
that's
game.
that's me with
Yep.
Quakecraft.
Yeah, that's
Not
pretty
a lot of
good
people
too.
play Quakecraft. It's a fun game
I
It
mode.
think
is
the
fun.
problem with them though is that they don't update the maps either.
Mm.
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay, so we got Grian. We kind of had
Yes.
Etho, but not really.
Actually, the person I was gonna say after I'd mentioned Etho was Grian because of the role play stuff and his ability
Mm-hmm.
to do collabs
Okay.
on Hermitcraft.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Grian was the last edition of Hermitcraft, right? Like, I don't think they've added anyone after him.
Man, if only we had Tink here,
Think
he would
so.
know.
Oh, yeah, he knows all the
Think's a
facts about that.
database.
Oh
Because
no.
like, how do you top Grian? Like, I was looking at the list of Hermitcraft members because like I couldn't think of all of them off the top of my head. So I started going through them, going through some of the inactive ones, going through. There's only 2 inactives on here apparently. Um, yeah, I mean the only other person I can think of is Azuma,
Mhm.
just because I think it'd be interesting to have his sort of technical brain on the server and just be able to talk to him would be very interesting. Get his perspective on content creation and
Right.
because he's been around for so dang long and he's been in Hermitcraft for so long. Like it would
Mm-hmm.
be very interesting to get some of his thoughts and stuff on that. But
Mhm.
I say Green's probably the best answer on here. I would say.
I think so.
All right, this may seem like it's coming out of like nowhere, but I would
Oh.
go with Tango.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, he's pretty good.
I don't actually watch him, but just from what I've seen from other hermits videos, he is like a mastermind when it comes to like game design and stuff. Like
Dedicated.
obviously he did Decked
true.
Out, which is a
Mm-hmm.
massive undertaking in survival. And I think now he's making like an Among Us thing.
Mhm.
Seems a little late, but um
Takes time
yeah,
for
it just seems
perfection.
like he has the drive, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
the vision to make these big projects in survival. And yeah, just to have a game like that with that kind of replayability, like Hermits were doing that like for many, many episodes, and it just like kind of brought people together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, got some competitive edge to it too. So that was really fun to see.
Mhm.
And I feel like on Afterlife we have mini games, but they're more like smaller scale, obviously. Um,
Right now, the
Well,
games district
and
looks beautiful with all the beautiful terraforming
yes,
that TP
true,
did.
true.
There's
mm-hmm.
not a lot of mini games in there.
Well, I
So
don't think all of us have, I guess, like the game design built into our head to come up with some of
Yeah.
right.
those stuff. Like we do. I mean, I feel like that's not what I'm about to say is not the best way to say it, but like it's level-headed Minecraft versions of mini games and not like in depth. Like we're just still on.
Right, like King of the Ladder, for instance, is
Yeah,
like just
it's like
whoop, like, alright, climb a ladder, shoot people
I don't
down.
want to say
Like
basic, but basic is
right.
probably what I would
Basic.
say.
Like, cause like, the Ravager hunt, I believe they did last season. Was that Tango that did that? It was like a Ravager hunt game.
I'm not sure.
Had to collect
Season 6.
Ravagers. It was season 6 Hermitcraft, but still, I thought that was kinda a game because you got chased by Ravagers, you had to, like, do certain objectives while getting chased by these
Hmm.
Ravagers, which just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just amazing. But yeah, I see what you mean, Jay. Definitely.
Plus, I also think he's like one of those like, I guess, great personalities or streamers or content creators in general. Because, like,
Mhm.
I guess some of you guys have said that you don't really watch him, but, like, from, like, watching his streams and, like, checking in, he kind of has, like, that really friendly and energetic vibe. Like, not too energetic, but, like, you want to be there and, like, you're kind of intrigued on what he's doing. And, like, even though
Yeah.
it may seem like it's not the most entertaining thing, you're still interested. Plus, then, like, who he, like, involves himself with, I think also can be neat, whether it's, like,
Yeah.
with Impulse or, like, I think he's done a great job at, like, helping Etho come more out of his shell because, like, typically they're playing Among Us with him. So,
Yeah. Right.
I feel like he's, like, one of those great people that helps break the ice with others too.
That's good. Yeah.
True.
Mm.
Good point.
And then he's
The
Redstoner too, so
social lubricant.
Redstoner's always good. We need more Redstoners in Afterlife.
yeah, I'm getting a
Call
little
us.
sorry
Call
for
us if you're a
Justin and
Redstoner.
Puff. We've been
I
working
was
them
gonna
to
say,
death.
yeah.
Yeah, they're only going to be worked to death.
The good thing is you can pay them with Redstone. That's not a bad idea. We'll
I
accept
don't.
that.
That only goes so far. Maybe it goes that far with Puff because I think he lost a lot of his redstone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Burn all his blocks or whatever. It was like a stack of blocks.
I think. Well, oh yeah, he did have to burn stuff, and then I think he also lost one of his boxes.
Oh.
So then he had to remake it.
Hmm. Great
Uh,
Redstoner. Professional.
mhm, professional. But I think, in my eyes, I'm still going to say Etho. Like, he's one of
Etho
those
fanboy.
few Minecrafters that I can still watch and be amazed and awed and oohing at. Cause like, I don't watch that many Minecrafters, but like, he's the only one that like will make sure that I come back. I think he might be like the only YouTuber I have the notifications turned on for. Like
Yeah, he
that
has like
much.
put some like magic in his videos or something. Like I can sit through a 30-minute Minecraft video only if it's by Etho, like
Well,
Right.
like
And
I
you don't
remember
realize you just watched it type of deal.
he
Passes the
yeah.
time.
mm-hmm, pretty good. Like I know he released like an hour-long video of Hermitcraft where he played decked out a bunch. I literally watched through all of that when most
Mhm.
people probably wouldn't. I don't know. Plus, then he has a way with building. He's a redstoner, and then he's also introverted, which can be good or bad depending on how you see it. So,
Right.
He just feels very like wholesome, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, definitely since he's been on the Hermitcraft, he's become more of like I would say a well-rounded builder as well, not just Redstoner.
yeah,
So he's just like a well-rounded Minecrafter now, which is just phenomenal, and which I think makes him more interesting to watch because he's the master of the trade, or what do they say? A master of many skills or something
A
like
jack
that.
of all trades.
Jack of all trades, that's what it is. So, of Minecraft though, which I think makes him even more interesting because you could be doing redstone now. Oh, we're gonna be doing building now. You know what I mean? Whereas like, using myself as an example, you're gonna get a lot of building, for
Mhm.
instance, which I
mm-hmm,
think definitely could be get repetitive, but if you run out of building tips and tricks to show off or new things to show off with building, that's when it can become stale. You can't just jump the redstone, you can't just jump the building, with Etho you can. So I think is a really unique thing about him. Yeah.
yeah.
Good answer, Jay. Good answer. I like that answer.
Well, there is our, I guess, answers to Tim's question. Do we want to answer another question from the list before we go back to one of our other prepared topics?
Um, any of you guys got a suggestion here?
Huh.
Hmm. See, you guys are making this difficult now because, like, I don't
Huh.
fully know the extent of your knowledge on certain things. So I'm just like, I
Well,
don't
definitely not the
think that would
first
be a
suggestion
great one. Yeah,
on the
see,
list.
because I figured like that means you probably don't know either of them. Because I feel like that's like an easy, fun one. But if you don't know who they are, then you probably wouldn't want to talk about it.
Let's go with. You want to go with lamps?
Oh
Yeah, let's do
yeah,
it.
I remember we had fun talking about that during the
Yeah.
meeting. Caffers is like, what does this question mean?
So, the suggestion is, when was the last time you've washed your cup? What's the longest you've ever went without washing it? which I think is absolutely disgusting, and
Well,
I have some pretty gross answers for it. So,
what?
but if you want to go,
So the purpose, the cup we're talking about is like a water cup or something that sits next to your
It can be
desk.
a
Is that what we're
water
talking
bottle.
about?
It can be a cup. Either one. Like
Yeah.
I use this coffee mug for typically anything that's not water, and then I have a water bottle.
This thing never gets washed, and it should get washed more. But I'm too lazy, so it doesn't get washed.
When
So
was the last
once every
time you
few
washed it?
months, I don't know. I think I washed it maybe end of last semester. So it's
You
been 3 or
rinse
4
like
months.
the mouth
So-
thing.
I mean, I don't.
Bless
know.
Emma's heart. Don't tell her this. Make sure
It's
not.
I
Make
mean-
sure to tell her
Have a
not to
box
listen to this
Cheerios.
part.
Box of Cheerios
I don't
next to his
know.
desk with his moldy water bottle.
Actually, where?
Well,
Oh,
it's
my
not
Cheerios
even
are
the
over there. Hold
mold.
on.
It's just like some of it will eventually get slimy, right?
Yes.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
you kind of get some of that slimy water in there.
Yeah. Oh boy, here we go.
Bought these the other day.
They
Highly
heart-shaped.
recommend. 10 out of 10.
You would be
Vine
kind
Honey
of
Nut
proud of me.
Cheerios. They're great.
So this water bottle right here. This is
Mhm.
the water bottle you see on stream. This is the water bottle I always have. It's like whites. This has probably been moldy once or twice, I think. I want to say.
Oh, is
Maybe
that
twice.
that water bottle?
This is the water bottle.
Didn't she like lose it one time and like had a bunch of mold in it or something?
That was another water bottle. I threw that one
Oh,
out because
yeah,
it was
that's
really bad. This this one twice so far, I believe. I'm gonna go with twice.
When was the last time
Um,
you washed it?
Only been about a month now, right?
Oh,
This one? 'Cause I just refill it with water. So it
just the
doesn't.
saliva.
So,
Yeah,
like,
but like it's like my own germs though.
But it's not just that though. Like when you're eating food, then you're putting back other bacteria slash germs
The
into
germs
that
have
environment.
babies. So
Like I'm
True.
not saying I'm a saint because like this water bottle, I probably haven't washed since January. But like
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm a saint, but like
well,
it's not great either. Like I know I
Like-
need to wash it.
I don't normally eat food and then drink from this water bottle. I get a
That's the same
glass
thing.
and use that.
Yeah.
Like, I only drink from this when I'm recording or when I'm streaming or like
Mm.
something along those
Right.
lines. So, like, I may have eaten something like 2 hours before, but like I don't normally. And like this one, I don't think it's ever been moldy. Like I've never noticed any
Well,
mold with this,
that's
and
a
I
plus.
and I almost like never wash it. What's weird about this one, you see the front here?
Mm-hmm.
I've had
Yeah.
this water bottle for so long. There used to be like a lash that went over the top of it. It broke off like ages ago. So
Mm.
like I've had this for a long time. I've washed it a few times, but like I don't know. It just never comes to mind because it never gets bad enough. I don't know. It never seems like it needs to get washed. So I just never do it.
This one is just like one of them push button ones. You push this button and then it opens up.
Yep. Mine is similar. Mine, you just push this front button,
Yep.
pops up.
Gotcha.
So
guys,
Okay.
hot take. You never wash it so that it builds your immune system.
And then it adds some flavor, right?
It does add flavor.
does that flavor? Yeah.
I drank moldy water before. It is delicious. Protein.
Okay, Mario, since you're coming off as a saint over here, what about you?
I'm no saint, but I don't really use a water bottle at home. Like I have
Plastic
this
water
mason
bottle.
jar.
Okay.
We just take like old pasta sauce jars and we wash them out, and they're pretty cool. They're bigger than regular glasses.
Yeah.
We use mason jars too here. Yep.
So I have like 3 or 4 of those that I just cycle through once a day. Whenever I end up going out, I have like one water bottle that I take. But the last time I did use it, I was out on like a road trip. So I ended up refilling it with like juice or something, some other beverage, and then I forgot about it. I just like left it in the car,
Uh-oh.
and I found it like a month later.
Eee.
and yeah, was not too pleasant.
Yeah,
Mold.
I could see with juice and stuff because of the sugars in that and the
Yeah.
different other things in that. Like this thing only ever gets water. Like
Mhm.
that's the only thing that ever goes in that bottle. And
Well,
I mean, I only
sometimes
ever
I
drink
put
water, pretty
lemon
much.
water. Lemon. I put lemon in here, so that's probably what the mold came from.
Yeah.
So.
So like I pretty much only drink water other than the occasional like alcohol. But you know, apart from that, I literally only drink water, so I don't ever, I guess, worry about that.
Right.
You guys don't have like an additional cup like I do here?
No.
I have a bunch of mugs.
Well,
I have a
like,
mug.
Yeah.
I
If you
mean,
saw my desk, like I don't have the room for it.
well, I mean, you got the thing behind you. There's enough space there.
This is filled with like glasses, keys, wallet, like all
Yeah,
kinds
but
of
that just
weird
sounds like
stuff
you need
on
to get
it.
some command hooks and go to town.
What? Hang
I
up
don't
your
know. I've
water
always been
bottle?
afraid of putting.
Well, no, putting his keys or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I can put them somewhere else technically, but like I use that as almost like a junk table. I just
Mhm.
like throw stuff on it. It's like, okay, there we go.
Hmm.
So
An end table, but not excess.
yeah, pretty
I
much.
think every table in my room is a junk table.
My room's pretty clean. The piano gets clothes on it eventually. Like if it's laundry day, clothes gets dumped on
And
there.
then after
Fold-
laundry day, and then the days following it, right?
That's what I mean. Like they just sit on the piano.
Or just like Mario's bed or something.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, did I tell you about my bed? Like, whenever I have Zoom meeting or streaming or let's say podcast, I'll move the clothes from the right side of the bed to the left side so the camera doesn't see it.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've thrown them on the floor. You know?
You just gotta leave it
Yeah.
there. It adds character. It adds something for people to be intrigued by.
I don't know
I'll
if
yell at
that's
you
the
for it.
right kind of character.
Yeah, that's the point. You know, it adds chat engagement.
Fold laundry on stream. There you go.
Yeah, that
Kill
could be
stream.
like one of your channel points rewards. If they see the clothes in the background,
There you go.
redeem fold a shirt or
Oh my
whatever.
gosh.
Talking about how to make the streams better over here. That'll make you better as a person. There you go.
Oh gosh.
Now I want that.
Well, there you go. Now it's just ready to be taken. But as a friendly reminder, I guess to everybody, if you want to suggest podcast suggestions, there is a Discord channel in the Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, it is discord.afterlifesmp.com, and you are good to go, White. You can pause.
But it's still
Yeah.
holding up. That's just to show you how it's actually still holding up though without me even taking care of it.
Oh.
So that's been nice.
Yeah, do I just teleport back?
Yeah, how in
Welcome
the
back.
world you just come back? 'Cause I saw White typing. I'm
Yeah.
like, is White typing on the
We need to
toilet?
include this in the podcast.
I think my internet did a thing. Maybe I've been back for like a minute now. I
Oh.
don't know.
That was so cool. You just like
So that was crazy.
I came back to you guys being robotic, and I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? Sorry, go ahead.
We are back now from WhiteFy's potty break. Yes, we got to emphasize it was a
apologize.
potty break. Can't
Wait, what do
believe
they
it,
call
White.
it? What do they call it when
He
you
broke
gotta
the
like?
seal.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
He
Alright.
broke the
I-
seal.
I have been having to go to the bathroom for like
Oh.
20 minutes now, 30 minutes. And it's like I finally I had to go. It's just like it's done. I've had my 2 hard ciders, like I just got to the
I'm
point
still
where
working on
I
my
had to
second
go.
one. So,
Wait, what are you drinking, Skunk?
Old Rock.
You got some boulder rocks.
What kind of Bull Rock? Okay, you just do regular. I have one of their seasonals. It is a
Ooh.
Bull Rock
Pineapple.
pineapple.
Ooh,
Yeah.
is that actually any good?
Oh yes. Oh
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
Very much enjoyed it.
Just don't know
But,
if
yeah.
pineapple to me is like kind of like a soury fruit, so I just didn't know if that would mix well. I guess this is too the apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Granny Smith.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
I guess for coming back to the podcast, we can talk about what is our most treasured aspect of video creation that we all enjoy and focus on, or perhaps most despised part.
That'd be good too.
So I mean, you guys are definitely more active on the video creation front, so you guys will probably have better answers than I do. So you guys should definitely take it away.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you could always talk about, like, what you look at in other people's, like, what you like to see from other people too, like, in that sense.
Jay's a good critic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like what you see in the, what you expect for, like, this podcast, for instance, or
Mm,
other videos in general, so,
Jay, you
um
can be like Simon Cowell. He doesn't sing, but like
you kinda have
he's
the look
great at
going on too,
judging.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
it
lie.
does kind of look like him.
Yeah, he's got the
yeah, now
head
now you just
shrinkers.
need like a patch of like chest hair just puffing out
Oh
like
my
he always
gosh.
does.
You should
He
get, like,
really
some
does.
cotton balls from the craft store that are just black and just, like, put them right here. Oh, but yeah, video creation. Um, I mean, I see the one thing I really like to focus on, like as just one part of my video, and I absolutely love when I can get to that part of the video. Um, and in the creation process of it is actually adding like music in because I
Mm,
love music, and I think that's such like I've learned that this past year coming back, or not just coming back, but like continuing to make content. Is that like having music in your videos is just so important, right? Like
It is.
it just it like and what you're depending on what you're doing in the video. So, like, my latest Afterlife episode, I was walking around with KB. It was, like, fun, kinda, like, country twang type of music, and we were just looking at buildings. I had a builder hat on. I was in a builder costume, so it just kinda reminded me of, like a contractor coming to your house, like a Home Depot, right? Like, you're gonna go to Home
Mhm.
Depot. Maybe they have some, like that, like, heavy, like, metal or not heavy metal, but, like, rock music playing or something. Um, yeah, that is, like, really important for me. And then also, like, time lapses too, like, really making sure those are, um, below a certain amount of time because I don't like to go on too long with time lapses, and then also having music for those too, like, how does the music flow into the time lapse, and, when it ends off, how does it, you know, um, drop or go fade into black? Um, like those styles of videos, and that's why I love Afterlife videos because that has all that, right? You can, like,
Mhm.
have different music here, you can have different, um, time lapses here, different project here, and it can have all different kinds of, um, what's the word? Emotions maybe going on in the video.
Yeah.
mm,
So
moods. Yeah.
and when me and Jay blew up the airship at my base,
It
Winter
wasn't
Tooth
me. It was
airship.
somebody else. Clearly.
I don't know who that was, but it was, like, fun, bouncy music going on, and just, like, kinda joking music, so it was fun. It was a good time. Yeah, I would say the music for me is a big part of it and makes it the most fun, um, out of all of everything you do in making videos.
Yeah, I agree. Cause like I've noticed that I've watched like a lot of vlogs in the past year. And like if
Oh,
you
yeah.
watch vlogs, they use a lot of different kinds of music to like convey different emotions or like,
Mhm.
sound effects. I feel like Riddick also does that for creators videos. So like you can kind of tell
Yeah,
that they're trying to
fact.
convey different things and just like seeing how they easily transition stuff just so well. So
Mhm.
like I feel like that only just like helps make it more obvious that music really plays a key role.
Yeah.
Even though we don't really think so at this current moment for some of us, maybe. Mm.
Who's
Whitey, it
What
that?
looks
about
like you
you,
wanted to
White?
say
You're
something.
White.
There's a few things we wrote down underneath of the question. I've been watching a lot more Minecraft Let's Plays
Mhm.
recently, like
Okay.
Mm,
current and like old.
Mhm.
And one of the things I noticed that like I've started to do in some videos, but they like a lot of Let's Plays I watch definitely do is continuity. So not necessarily, continuity in an episode, but a continuity between a series. Like if
Let me Google this world real quick.
if it's
Continuity.
a
Uh-oh.
series,
Oh,
a
no.
progression.
You're good now, White.
No, okay, we're
You're
back.
good, you're
So
good.
so start with
Okay, all
continuity.
right, so yeah, the whole idea of continuity. The main reason I say that is because I've been watching a lot of KS's old that KS2's old season 1 LP on his channel. One of the
Mhm.
things I noticed in his series is he did a lot more stuff on camera, but it made you feel like you were a part of this series a lot more. Seeing that progression from start, a lot of it being on camera, but seeing that progression from start to episode 1. Okay, this is what happened in episode 1, and maybe I did a few highlights, but this is what happened in the world, and then episode 2, and so like making sure to keep the viewers engaged in a way that like they know where everything is, they know what the timeline is. Versus just if you're doing a series, for instance, which is what a lot of what I do is I do Let's Play series. Seeing that progression over time and seeing how everything, even within one episode, but as well as within each episode in a series, flows together.
Yeah.
So, because that keeps people engaged, and I realized like the reason like I would just pull up his playlist and just have the playlist run. And normally I don't like running playlists, but at the same time it makes sense. Like if everything is in order, like okay, I ended this episode here. Now what happens in the next episode? Okay, this is where you start off. This is what you do in this episode. Okay, I can see each step in the process. Okay, this is where this episode ends. What happens in the next episode? So on and so forth. So,
but I think that's also like problematic too, right? Because like I guess we as a generation are kind of moving away from that, where like you can see it evident with some of the YouTubers where they're removing the episode numbers from their videos, where you shouldn't have to feel like you're obligated to watch all the previous videos, and that way you can just start wherever. So it's just like kind of difficult to like do that because it seems like you should have continuity, but then at the same time you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people also do that because obviously it helps with SEO and all that stuff. To like brand a video in a certain way in which it's gonna do better instead of saying this is my Minecraft Let's Play episode 506. It's like today I'm building a barn. Today I'm building this massive mob farm or something. That helps with SEO as well as and you are right. Like in terms of continuity, it's much easier for someone to join a series if they don't have to go back and watch X number of episodes to understand the whole storyline, the whole what's happened in the entire series. I don't know. To me, it just makes a lot more sense, I guess. And I would even argue stuff like that. I would love to see people start doing, if it's like Minecraft survival, like start doing worlds in which it's not a Let's Play focus. Because if the series is a Let's Play focus to begin with, and I would like to see some continuity. But like an idea I've had is like make a tutorial world, but in each episode you're building something new in that world. So you don't necessarily know what happened in the past. You don't need to know what happened in the past. But you can just focus on that one episode and see what was actually built. But having a series in which you're like building a base or building a I don't know, whatever. But you don't need that continuity. But I think it would just be pretty interesting for people to have a survival series that wasn't a Let's Play, but still it was more focused towards that. It's more like episode based rather than having to watch each episode in order or whatever.
Mario?
It's my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is Mario. Yeah.
We're waiting on you.
I would say I personally do agree with White that I've been trying to lean towards like that Let's Play style, continuing where we left off, kind of keeping people in the loop. But I'm also been like slacking with that because my work ethic isn't great. I'll like record a bunch of stuff one day and then I'll leave the editing to the week after. I have like stuff going on in between then, and I kind of don't have the video planned out fully. So that's kind of something I've been working on.
Right.
But yeah, it would be nice to have like dedicated parts of the video, maybe, or every video you say like, hey, this is what we worked on last time, or if you're new to the project, this is how we started or what it's about, stuff like that. Because I feel like I sometimes just like jump into it expecting people to know what's up,
Right.
Yeah, I definitely agree because like one of the vlogging YouTubers I watch, they frequently do that. Like they use footage from like years ago somehow in their videos, or well, they still keep it, and then they will show that to give you like I guess a flashback of like what happened or how he's progressed through life. So it's just like it makes sense, and I feel like certain Minecraft YouTubers also kind of do that, where they kind of try to throw a flashback on the screen of like what happened, but then
Right.
it's also kind of hard to do that because I feel like a lot of us nowadays are trying to limit the length of our videos and trying to not like bore people because they've already
Yeah.
watched it. Why would they want to see it again or listen to you explain something? Because then you might end up rambling or just wasting time when you could just be diving deeper into more content. Hmm.
Right. Well, I mean, I know I find myself personally just trying if I can get a 15-minute episode, fine. I don't try to shoot for a 30-minute episode like I used to. I used to like it was almost like kind of like torture in a sense to where you like had to use creativity to just yeah, it was like forced creativity, right? Like, oh, I have to fill in this episode now because I'm not at a certain goal. Like, maybe I want a 30-minute episode, but really nowadays, nobody's gonna watch a 30-minute episode unless it's Ethos, of course, or one of the hermits. But that's besides the point. We're not that. We're not full time. So I think jumping straight into it, getting straight to the point, getting to the more fun parts of the video, um, and even if it is every episode, even if it's not like, I don't know, even if you don't like give give a you know summary of what you did in the last episode or the previous episodes, um, that's why I find that to be a good way. And again, touching on Green again, he kind of does that, right? He'll just jump right into that into the episode and be like, guys, today we're working on blah blah blah,
Hmm.
and you're automatically in that episode and you don't feel obligated to watch the whole of the series back.
Mhm.
Which I get what you're saying with the maybe keeping some sort of let's play feel to it, but it definitely feels a lot better for me as a content creator to just jump right into it as well. Like, all right, guys, today we're working on this. That's what we're doing. You don't need to worry about anything else that we did previously. Now, sometimes in the beginning of the video, I'll be like, "Hey, I we did this in the last episode." So it's just like a little, "Hey, maybe if you want to go watch and see what we did."
Yeah.
But you know, I and if people want to watch the whole series, hey, that's fine. It's up to them. But um, I just know for me personally, moving forward, it's like that's how I try to keep it short and simple. So
I like the 15-minute rule. I mean, I try to keep somewhere between 15 and 25 minutes. If I
yeah,
see a video that's 30 minutes, I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch that one. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I would say that the sweet spot that I found for like my attention span of actually watching a video is like 15 to 20 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, nice, sweet, to the point.
right,
Um, you know, I think that's what I like to see.
Hmm.
I think a lot of this is also a lot of what we've been debating as well. Um, can be can boil down to why people subscribe or why people watch our channels as well.
uh-huh,
So in terms of like, I know most people who come to my channel are for Let's Play, and they start at episode 1. Like, they
right,
Hmm.
watch playlists. Like, a
Yeah.
lot of my views come from playlists or come from episode 1s where they're watching the entire series, whereas
yeah,
some others, like Skunk, a lot of yours may come from building ideas or build tutorials
right.
or
And
things
they're
like
not there
that.
for them long, extravagant videos. They're there
Yeah.
for maybe 10 minutes, not even maybe 2 minutes. Who knows? But so
Mhm.
yeah,
So that may also contribute to the different thought
Hmm.
processes there in terms of like I I structure a lot of my I've started at least to structure a lot of my content more for I know people are going to watch this a year from now rather than I
mhm,
know people are going to watch it now. Still have the interaction now, but also
right,
structure in a way in which if people watch the series and they start it a year from now, like they're going to be able to run through an entire playlist and have some sort of continuity in it.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I've
I
been
think is.
noticing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
Quick point. I just been noticing, again, what you guys said, keeping it 15, 20 minutes. Like, I've been being a lot more strict with what I'm cutting out
Mhm,
because, you do get really excited over something you build. Like, oh my goodness, I
right.
really like how I did this technique, blah, blah, blah. But not everyone wants to hear that. It's just like exciting to you. So you just want to show the good stuff, like you said.
Right.
So I've been cutting out a lot more.
Yeah, short and simple, which, like, I really and I did genuinely mean it when I said I enjoyed your episode today and I commented on your video because I was like,
Aw.
this was definitely a nicer paced episode. Not saying that your other episodes were bad, but just like, looking forward
Sees the
now, like,
improvement.
yeah, I can see the improvement. I'm like, yeah, I can see that you're really trying to like do what you say. So it's good, you know.
Yep. TikToker and Shorts Mario is helping.
Yep.
Don't want it to rub off like too much though.
But I mean, I'm sure also a lot of it is also from the help of other Afterlife members, right? We're all content
Yeah.
creators here. And,
Mhm.
like, I feel like we've now, like, started talking more lately about, like, suggestions on how to improve our content, recommending things, helping each other, like, by DMing each other, just recommending things overall, like, the music standpoint. Certain members do that pretty well with their videos, and I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of us catch on when we watch their videos, or maybe you see that they cut their videos more, so you kind of notice that too. Maybe you think, maybe I should do that.
Mhm.
One person who uses music really well who's in Afterlife, who he does it in a way that I think really adds to the video. Ash.
Mhm.
Ash does a really good job of adding music, whether it's
Mhm.
time lapses or just in the background. I've noticed his hardcore and other things as well. That's honestly someone I would look at as well in terms of like Ash has improved a lot. Honestly, I would count
Yeah.
him as sort of like, I've said this for a little bit, the most underrated Afterlife creator.
Mhm.
And he has been historically.
Yeah.
I would say, a little more traction now, but just because I think his quality of content and the way he uses music is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely each of us, I think, help encourage each other in some shape, or at least help us think about it subtly. Mm. Not sure. Do we have anything else we want to add to that topic by chance?
Nope. I got nothing.
Nope.
Well, I think to lastly end things off with, we will talk about, I guess, as a kid, what was your dream job and why? Something simple, right? Something fun, hopefully,
Oh boy.
as an answer choice. Not like pressing, maybe.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Um. Yeah. I was a kid of many visions. There was a time where I wanted. Well, I really love trains. Okay. Like that's like my biggest thing. Like I love trains. I think they're fantastic. Okay. Some people like trucks, some people like cars, some people like trains. Oh,
When are you
gosh,
buying
I
one?
love them.
Choo choo.
When am I buying a train? I think that's a lot of money. I think it's a little bit too much. It's gonna break the
You're
bank a little
bougie.
bit too
You're
much.
fine.
You gonna buy me a
Bougie,
train, Skunk?
not high
Can
class.
I have a train?
The WhiteFyr train, yes, and everybody, we're gonna go and aboard the WhiteFyr train. There we go.
Then we're gonna go from East Coast to West Coast.
It'll be the AfterLife train. There'll be a car for each train car for each AfterLife member. It's gonna be a
Okay, that
long
might be a
train.
little too much money now, Scott.
But okay. But anyway, yeah. So I always loved trains. So I've always said I wanted to be a train driver when I grew up. And then I switched. I was playing Roller Coaster Tycoon at the time, and I was like, I want to own an amusement park when I grow up. So yeah, okay. And then a little bit down the line, not so much of a kid. I like 12 years old. I guess I'm still like a kid going into the teenager years. I really got into like cooking. I liked cooking, and I really liked in that aspect of it, and just making meals for people and stuff like that. I don't know where
Very
that talent
roasted.
went. I don't know where that talent went, Jay. I made you breakfast though, and it was pretty good. But then my mom came up with a great idea. Said, well, you want to own an amusement park. You want to own a restaurant. You want to drive a train. Well, you can own an amusement park, have a restaurant in it, and drive a train. So it was a pretty good compromise. Either way, never happened. I'm doing masonry now. So yeah,
Big dreamer though. Respect.
big dreamer. Still a big dreamer.
And now you're a content cow too.
Content cow.
Mhm.
Exactly. I'm a Steve. Yes.
What?
Anybody?
Why are you shaking your head? What's the
What?
problem?
Look at all happy, dreamy skunk there. Um,
What, you jelly?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a dream job. That's weird. Like I've always had a job that I thought I would do, but nothing that I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like this is like I was always told, go into engineering. You're good at math and science, do that. And so
Mhm. Even
like
as, like, a
my
kid, like 5 years old?
oh yeah. Yeah.
You're good at math and engineering at 5 years old.
Okay.
Well, math and science, like I was ahead of
Okay,
some other kids. But like from the time I was little, they were like, you're ahead of most kids in these industries. Hey, you should look into engineering. And part of that
Mhm.
was because all of my family are engineers. My mom went to school for engineering before she dropped out, but whatever. So I always knew, and specifically civil engineering, because that's what my
Mhm.
mom was going into. So like that was like the only engineering I sort of had any like was told about or anything. Now I'm in computer engineering, but like I've never had like a job that I was like, I have to do this. Like this is
Right.
this is it. This is everything. Not even YouTube, not even content creation. I don't know. I just never had one.
That is pretty boring.
It is pretty boring. I agree.
What do you mean? White was doing better things with his time than thinking about jobs that
He's a
he would want.
realist.
Than daydreaming, which is what I did a lot, so fair enough.
I mean, I did a lot of daydreaming, just not about dream jobs.
Just not about working. I get
Just
that.
not about
Yeah.
working.
Yes, he was being a kid.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's being a kid. Yep.
Okay, well, I guess I did a fair bit of daydreaming as well. Like, I didn't really
Mhm.
think of it as like my dream job, but now looking back, I was like, yeah, that's probably what 10-year-old Mario would have wanted. Like, I remember in my 5th grade yearbook, I wrote, I want to be a video game designer.
Mhm.
Because I was watching a lot of YouTube back then, but I'm like, that doesn't seem too realistic. Video game designer. But that's like probably just as hard. You need like tons of skills and like probably a degree in something. But I just remember as a kid, I would draw out like levels on my notebook and have my
Mhm.
friends like play them, have little health
Oh,
bars on my notebook.
that's the way to start, man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I would
start.
narrate it. I would like, you took 5 damage, goblin died, or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know.
I was the
See, you could
same
be our
way.
TangoTek. You're over here drawing it out.
Well, he pretty much is with the Winter Quest going on right now.
Uh-huh.
I will say he's making improvements in that sense. So,
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of lost interest since then. It seems like
mhm.
quite a bit of creative visionary skills, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Depends
What
upon
you're
what
saying is go ahead. What?
I was gonna say it depends on what part of it. Like if you're designing, if you're actually designing the game, or if you're actually coding, and then the design in the code of the game. That's
Yeah.
that's a whole two totally different parts of it as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
True.
Yeah. Then what do you want to be now then, Mario?
Oh boy.
Because you're entering college.
That's
Mhm.
true. I'm
He's a
feeling
big boy.
privileged that I don't have to decide like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I can take a few classes before declaring my major, but
Yeah.
I'm probably looking into, I don't know, maybe doing what my parents do, but obviously there's still other options. So maybe something with medicine or just like pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see what interests me.
Dr. Mario.
All right.
I
Dr.
like the
Dr.
Square.
Mario.
Marion
So, I
Mario's
mean,
hitless.
what I'm hearing is that everybody's gonna be rich. So y'all better take care of me.
I mean, you're gonna be
Thank
rich
you.
too, Skunk.
We can fund
Yes.
your amusement
You're
park
trained.
train conductor chef dream.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
we'll invest in
Of the
your
Afterlife
amusement
house
park.
right outside the amusement park. I don't think it would be a good idea to have it inside.
Yeah. Well, I don't want
That
it to be that close either. You know, screaming kids,
you imagine all the vomit that would just be coming off
I
them
don't-
roller coasters? Good
Or the
lord.
amount of cars that pass
I
by.
ain't cleaning that. I'm
Look,
not cleaning that.
I will say an Afterlife house would be pretty amusing.
It'd be great, right? Great. Only
Yeah.
great stuff.
Great for an amusement park, you know?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yes.
Where are you trying to go with that, White? Fine.
Why would you be-
Amusement park?
I
don't get it?
know, but you know,
Oh.
I meant more like, you know, if he was trying to say that some of it was going to involve puking or not.
Well, that wouldn't be amusing. I don't know about that.
Yeah, wouldn't it be? Okay, White.
Oh. love
But I guess for me to answer the question, in my eyes, I think one of them was always to be a video game designer. But then,
Okay.
you know, I quickly realized on paper that is a lot more harder than one thinks, right?
Mhm.
You think of it being
Yep.
such a simple task. You're playing these video games, you know, you play them every day or whatever, spend so many hours. So then you grow attached to them, to that idea of like, oh, I can make my own version of this, right? Because you think you could do better or you could do something similar. Because like Mario, I used to draw a bunch of pictures of games I played and like me rethinking of how that level should have been or campaign or whatever. But then that quickly faded away. I mean, there were points where I was like, oh, I could be a doctor. And I'm like, oh, that many years of going to college and med school?
Yeah.
Psych! No.
No thanks.
Or, I mean, I think pretty young me was like, oh, I could be a politician. But then I'm like, I hate public speaking, so that's not really going to work.
Honestly, Jay, I could see you being a politician. You'd be pretty ruthless.
My mom tells me that because of when
Crush
me and
them.
her debate certain things. She's like, you would be a great politician. I'm just like, well, unfortunately, I don't like public speaking.
but you
Oh.
do make a great leader.
So
Mm,
president? Okay.
President.
yeah,
president of
that
Afterlife.
requires a lot of steps to get there. Yeah, I'm president of Afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Just
President.
bribe people, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you have to do to get through in life.
Yep, just bribe people.
But I mean, now I guess my major is supposed to allow me to be like a business analyst or consultant or whatever other version. I mean, there's multiple routes, but I mean, I think I would prefer the business analyst route instead of consulting because that requires a lot more traveling. Because if I recall correctly, they travel like 3 out of the 4 weeks in a month and are essentially never home. So I don't really like the sound of that. So, yeah.
I don't either. That sounds awful.
Yeah, you would kind of like a place to be at, stability-wise, and have a life. And that kind of
Yeah.
prevents it. But I mean, that would only last a few years, I believe. So, But I think that answers all of our questions or topics, or I think that solidifies this podcast. Hopefully, it was a good one for episode 35 of the Afterlife podcast. Don't forget,
Return.
check out all these beautiful faces, which is linked in the description / pinned comment down below. And also don't forget to check out all the Afterlife members in general. Don't forget to join the Discord so you can suggest questions / topics for us, or just in general be a part of the community, which is discord.afterlifesmp.com. We have a live podcast / streamathon where there's going to be multiple Minecraft streams if you enjoy that instead of the live podcast, which is on Saturday, February 27th, which is live.afterlifesmp.com. But either way, thank you guys for watching / listening to the podcast. Have a great rest of your day / night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.